very much for joining us today for yet another episode. And today we have a special guest by the name of Brian.
Hey.
And in today's episode, what we will be doing is actually dissecting a live interview in which we pre-recorded and talking about the do's, the don'ts, and everything in between. So today we are going to dive deep into an interview we simulated. And of course, this channel is all about empowering you and showing you the do's and don'ts of interviewing. So we'll go section by section, looking at what was done well, what could have been done better, and helping you make your interviews that more successful. So throughout the session, we'll be providing insights to both the recruiter and the interviewee. So what you're about to watch is myself and Mudoni interviewing Brian, and he will be John Doe in this specific interview. So let's dive straight in.
I'm conducting an interview here. I'll send those reports. I know they're super urgent and important. Next hour, I'll be done. But yeah, just give me an hour. Just give me an hour. Oh, sorry, Mudani. I know I'm running a bit
Dennis,
late.
bring me my tea. Bring me my tea. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, hi.
Let's just talk about that
Yeah.
part.
Yes.
You're stifling all manner of reactions.
I love it.
How was that for you?
It was,
Brian?
I think, that period before the interview begins, and you're just waiting. You're trying to smile. You try not to, look all weird. So you have a one to smile. Yeah? And, it is, and it's very nerve-wracking at that point. It's so nerve-wracking because you don't know what to expect, and it's a difficult point at that point. So I don't know.
You conducted yourself well, though. You were composed. My concern is now with the interviewers who are clearly not prepared. They came across as late. One is, and this is a no-no to interviewers, because then they're busy waving, talking, asking for their tea. Their microphones are not muted. So yeah, mute your mic, be attentive, and just be professional. Let's talk background.
Let's talk. Mudoni is there in the beach.
How did you find that background, Brian? As an interviewer?
Distracting. It was very distracting because I thought I was applying for a job in the office. But she's in the beach. So, I think it just distracts you because at first you try to digest why is she in the beach? Why is all that happening? And then why is she calling people in the beach? I don't know.
Someone was
Yeah.
going to bring her tea.
At the beach.
Yeah, no, I get you. A clean background, white or an office type, because there's so many background effects you can choose from. So something simple that doesn't distract the candidate.
Yep.
And if you can absolutely not get like a plain background, Zoom also has a blur feature where you can blur the background so that the other items don't become distractors.
Which job are you interviewing for?
Marketing specialist.
Really? Didn't you have one?
Okay.
Okay, that's the one, not intern. Okay.
No,
Alright.
it's for right now. It's the marketing specialist. That one was for next week Tuesday.
They're discussing their own internal issues in the interview.
Yeah.
And they're not even sure what job that is that they're it's not professional.
Yes.
Being prepared, that's a no-no. Very bad for any company's brand.
Yeah. And know the candidates that you're seeing.
How did it make you feel?
And not welcome. Yeah, you feel not welcome. You feel like these guys are not sure they want you to be here, or they just have to do it for formality purposes. So you feel denied even before you've been interviewed.
Interviewers out there, you can, from the horse's mouth,
Yeah.
a candidate feels instantly disinterested if you show up unprepared.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I am a marketing manager here and also joined with another marketing manager colleague. We anticipate that this session maybe take like an hour or so of your time, and then at the end we will have a special segment for questions.
What Lily did there is great. That's how to introduce an interview session and explain how long it will be and what to expect, and that there will be a Q&A part at the end. Maybe what additionally in an introduction that also should be followed up with is just a background on the role, just to give the candidate and say, this is the job, this is the expectation, cue it in, before you straight jump into it. I think that's always a good practice. Exactly.
Jump in. John, tell us about yourself, and more so, why did you apply for this position?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. As it was stated, my name is John Doe. I live in Nairobi. I studied marketing, and I've done it for a while right now. So I've been improving and helping progress my career. So I saw the advertisement.
All right. So the critique I have there of candidate John Doe is use of a lot of crutch words and fillers, which the brain uses so that you can compose yourself and construct a thought. But it tends to be distracting and makes you come across as though you don't know what you're saying. Yeah, and I also think using structured timelines is also more helpful than mentioning I've been in marketing for a while. What is a while? Define 4 years, 5 years. I think it also just gives your profile a more powerful boost.
I think you guys tell me more about the question. Tell me more about yourself. Who are you? Introduce you to us. So I know I'd have turned it to bluff. So, but how do you answer that question? Basically, how do you get to it?
Why is the question asked? The question is usually asked to put you at ease, because who knows you better than yourself? But over time, it's been seen as the enemy, the worst question you can receive. Down to now, you start asking yourself, do I really know myself? Do I really know who I am? I always say, have it ready. You know this question is coming. So have an elevator speech. Just always say, hey, 1 minute, what you're studying, what your current interest, how you align to this role, what you can bring on board, what are some of the achievements, and then end it. And it's also a question that interviewers ask to see whether you've researched the company.
Okay, all right. So maybe you can tell us in your CV, you mentioned that you have developed successful marketing strategies for bread. Using a specific examples, talk us through how you went about doing so.
You said bread?
Yes, I see here in your CV, you said you created a marketing strategy for bread.
Yes. So in my hometown at Kitale, there is a friend of mine who just started a company, and he was baking bread. So he approached me and told me if I could do his marketing strategy, and I came up with a plan that we'd use to sell the bread. In Kitale, the market is a bit different. It's not like other places. So what we did is
there's something I wanted to mention. When you asked that question, I was clueless.
Yeah.
So
and it's in your CV. It's not like I picked it from anywhere. Like, and we see that know you so often. Your CV. You find, and this is the hazard sometimes of giving someone to write your CV for you. They end up sometimes working in things that man untrue. Yeah. Or you disconnect from it.
Yeah.
So you don't. You're sure it came from the consultant. It's fine. You forward it to the company, and then now there's a question, and you're like, bread.
So at first, before I came on board, he was selling around 20 breads per day, loaves of breads rather. But by the time we started working together and we started pushing, we came up with a good marketing plan and a good strategy. The sales increased to almost 100 units per day. So yes, I'm confident when it comes to matters sales and coming up with a good sales strategy. Yes, so that was basically the campaign.
Or yours.
So, did you feel like these straight faces were not really telling you whether they're actually with you? Would you have liked to see more,
Facial expressions.
active listening?
Yeah. Especially when in that scenario when I mentioned loaves of bread from 20 to 100. That was like an achievement. Like we said in 20, now we said in 100. But then to you it's 20,
Or
100.
Lily is like sip tea. Maybe she's like,
With the bread that it makes sense.
Thank you, John, but I'd like you to be a little bit more specific on what exactly you did that resulted in this growth in sales.
What I did first when I got to the business, when I started talking to him, I realized that the bread he was selling was too big, and the market basically does not consume a lot of bread. So we got to understand what the people wanted and what the market was going for. And so what we did, we realized that we needed to reduce the size of the bread.
From your answer, I could definitely tell that you knew what you were talking about. And I also liked that you broke it down into pointers. You were like, first, what we did was this. And then second, and then third. You used a lot of we, but that's fine. It's okay. I felt a bit more confident in your answer. And then lastly, what you did, you said, now I can bring those successes to your organization, which is very good, I think. You have a lot of hand gestures. Is it nerves? Is it just you do it unconsciously?
I was in theater.
as a performer.
Okay.
But I know it's natural and it's probably a way of delivering what you're saying. I think for me it's just natural.
Okay.
But it's worse when it's on a small scale because now I have to bring my hands all together. And, yeah. So why did you ask me that?
No, I was curious because in your specific gestures, they weren't negative, but you have certain candidates who have maybe like a tap, like an awkward tap, which can become like distracting, and it's usually unconscious. A lot of the time, they don't even know they're doing it. But in your case, I didn't have any negative aversion. I was just curious to know whether you actually knew that you were doing so.
There's a recommendation some public speakers make when it comes to gestures, especially when you're online, is to make them mid face and shoulder level, so that you can show that you're actively communicating.
We would like to understand your experience with CRM systems. So why don't you take us through how an organization can establish the use of a CRM system? Okay.
So I think when I hear CRM, I think about different opportunities that will really help in marketing. So when in how I'd incorporate CRM is
All right. Use of jargon.
That was unfair of this marketing manager asking you about something that you clearly had no clue what it was. And we see that a lot with managers so rushed to finding out whether this is the right person, and they jam in their own technical things in the questions and not taking time to explain.
How much have you been earning in your previous job, and how much money are you expecting for us to give?
around 35,000. And I was hoping that at least I'd earn 130,000 from this job.
Yeah.
Our topic.
Yeah.
So rule of thumb when interviewing, I believe, depending on the job, recruiters ask this question prematurely. or ask it too late. So there's an appropriate moment to work in how much someone is earning, or appropriate time to ask. So ask before, ask during, ask after, depending on the job.
To what Mudoni said, there's also an element of research, both actually for the candidate and for the recruiter. As a recruiter, you tend to know generally which organizations in the market pay above par, or those that are sort of mid-level and those that are a bit lower paying. And if you know that a certain organization or candidate is coming from a place where they could be over budget, ask these questions earlier on. And for the candidate, also do your research before you step in there. Ask around. If you know somebody in the organization, just know what it's paying. So it's a question that you can tackle from a point of your end rather than being ambushed.
Do you have children? Are you married?
Yes, I'm not married.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not married, but yes, but I have a child.
Gosh.
Talk about personal questions and hard personal questions.
Oh, yeah. Those are a no-no.
Complete
A company should never ask a candidate questions such as that.
I don't have questions, but maybe let me thank you for giving this opportunity. I know right now things are a bit tough, they are a bit hard, and everyone is going through a lot. Companies are laying people off.
Two parts, there's my response,
Yes.
and then there's the other part of the question.
No, yeah, you didn't have any questions,
Yes.
but you had this long-winded defense
I
of
started
why
out
you're.
asking that.
Yeah.
So you asked that question. Do I have any questions? And then that's probably normally a very big discussion. So should I have questions?
Always have questions. And then always have forward-thinking questions. Like, all right, for example, what is the biggest pain point right now you have with this current role, and how would you want me to solve that problem? Or first 6 months, what would you
Especially
expect
the
me
first
to do?
6
Or
or so months, first
Yeah.
2 months.
yeah,
100 days, very common. Yes, a job that shows, that puts your panel, that helps the panel put you in the job and start actually advising you.
Just kept talking and talking. I don't know.
You can as the host you can just remove him.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Remove.
Yeah.
Wait. Remove. Okay.
Oh,
That is the, talk about the worst in etiquette.
very bad.
Oh my goodness. And it's so common now with online interviews where the panelist is not very tech savvy, and then they forget that there's an ending. They don't know how to end the session.
Yeah.
Typically, with online meetings, you just say, the interview is over, you're free to leave the call. Thank you for your time.
Give them a
Yeah,
bit of time to
exactly.
We hope you enjoyed our little interview mock-up, and we really want to thank our special guest Brian for joining us and participating in that, and that you enjoyed the do's and don'ts that we had both for the candidate and for recruiters. Goni?
Yes, so please follow us on our socials. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram and Facebook. Let us know what you thought of this particular episode. Catch all our other episodes on our channel. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you can know whenever a fresh episode is put up. Until next time, bye!
Bye.